Steven Erikson's Malazan Book of the Fallen series is a sprawling epic, so much so that I couldn't hope to cover the 7,000 plus pages of these books, particularly when it comes to plot structure and the sheer volume of characters present. That being said, I believe this to be one of the most important fantasy series ever written, and that it busts out of genre conventions and hits the very hoity-toity definition of literature. Here's a quick plot overview on large-scale terms, leaving out some of the plots of entire books. I mean, I'm not perfect. We have this 300,000-year timescale for the story, but most of everything takes place within a limited frame. The overarching plotline is that a foreign god was ripped from the heavens by powerful magic and came crashing to Earth, causing a whole bunch of trouble as this anguished god lashes out at the denizens of the setting. While the narrative focuses on numerous characters and races within the world, humans are at the center. Specifically, though not for all of the books, Malazans. The Malazan Empire has one of the most effective militaries in this fantasy world, and is comprised of a multi-ethnic army of people that it's conquered. Another important note is that women are on equal footing with men in this military force, but the characters in the story are often the low-ranking soldiers, battered around by impersonal forces as different Malazan armies, there's multiple in the series, contest with various bad guys throughout the books. Sometimes good guys too. Additionally, you have a whole bunch of different atypical fantasy races. The Jaghut, who are these giant tusky guys with a bizarre sense of humor. The Fork-Rule Assail, terrifying multi-jointed skeletal scary guys who want to cleanse the planet of all life. You've got the Kachin Chamal, I don't know if I'm saying that right, they're basically sentient badass dinosaurs. And you've got three different types of Tist people who are like elves, but not really at all. You've got gods, elder gods, and my favorite, the Talan Amas. Undead warriors who curse themselves into immortality to fight an endless war. You get familiar with each of these races and their particular quirks and complexities, and rest assured, they're all done justice by Erikson, though that's as far as I can really go into here. Aside from the rip-roaring fantasy plot, horrific battles, great love, great betrayal, great redemption, the thematic content is where this particular series shines, with one theme in particular. Many books deal with trying to figure out the nature of the human condition. Erikson focuses on one aspect of this that's been grappled with by many writers, but to me, most resembles the themes within Fyodor Dostoevsky's work. In Erikson's tale, we come face to face with the same problem again and again: humanity's indifference to suffering in a meaningless universe. Side note here, Erikson's work is steeped in nihilism, the belief that life has no objective meaning in the all-consuming maw of the void. We are performing our various functions until we die, and there is no meaning whatsoever. I mean, it's really fun stuff, right? Essentially, though, there is magic and gods and other cosmic forces. They are part of the world, though not necessarily creators of it. So Erikson's universe is a nihilistic one that is informed by natural forces, though in this case, those natural forces are crazy, bizarro fantasy ones. But like our world, we have this problem of suffering. Suffering that has no answer or retribution. We're lazy creatures with a very low threshold for thinking about or witnessing suffering, so we display indifference on a grand scale. You don't need to know fantasy to know this. One only needs to think about mass extinctions of animals, genocide in foreign lands, domestic and foreign terrorism, global hunger, climate change, whatever. We don't like to look at this stuff, and our brains create tools to keep us distant from them, because to think about them is to bear too much. It's a necessity for us to live our day-to-day, but that doesn't make it any less horrible. Erikson's not content to simply put this indifference on display. He's actively railing against it. Here's what he says about the train of refugee children he creates in his book, Toll the Hounds. Quote, "If I had simply transposed the plight of refugee children in the Sudan into the Malazan world, and left them as powerless as they are in this one, then in effect, all I am doing is exploiting their existence. I am borrowing their tragedy for the sake of fiction. If, however, I empower them, give them a voice and a will that won't be denied, I am asking my reader to not turn away. And if I work hard at imagining their moment-by-moment existence, I am telling myself the same thing." For him, it is not enough to show suffering. He has to empower characters to fight back. And he does it with compassion, and his characters do it with compassion. Amid the horrible violence and suffering, his characters are heroic because they do what people in real life rarely do. They resist, they struggle against the indifference in the hope of alleviating some degree of suffering. And the end result is that his characters have brief victories, which is all we can hope for in his world or ours. That's what makes this book a powerful antidote to what ails us. Its cathartic power to save us from ourselves. I know it sounds melodramatic, But go read it. Prove me wrong. I'll see you next time.